one that infinite Brahma is the very substance of all of creation. There is nothing outside of that. The dance and the play of this creation involves the three gunas, Sattva, Rajas, and Tamas. And together they form different combinations of subtlety and solid. By forming the gunas into the five elements in their various combinations, the Sattva, the Rajas, the sentient, the mutative or action, and the Tamas, the static or the solid factor, they come together in different combinations to form the five elements. And out of the five elements, all of creation is formed. All out of the substantive consciousness of the infinite Brahma. All out of the one. Sattva dominates the sentient principle, the life principle, is stronger in the spacious or etheric factor. In the area, there is more movement. And so Rajas begins to come into play. In the luminous, Rajas is dominant. There is fire, there is energy, there is movement. And then in the water element, in the liquid element, the Rajas and the Tamas come into play. And then in the solid factor, Tamas is dominant, the static principle dominates. So in this process, wave becomes particle. And this material universe comes into existence. But it cannot sustain without the life force principle, which brings sattva again in communication with this material universe, where the static principle dominates, but then out of it arises the life force. And sattva begins to arise, and rajas out of the tamasic principle. So in the tamas, in the earth element, lies the very potential of rajas and sattva. So as the gunas condense in the five elements, they remain active, but suppressed. So they are there, but they are not dynamically active. So when tamas is dominating, rajas and sattva are suppressed. But when tamas becomes stronger, sattva and rajas, which is contained within the static principle, within the earth element, cannot be repressed fully, and they begin to rise to the surface and make the life force principle. And the vehicle for that arising to the surface of sattva and rajas is microvita. That is the life force, the life force vehicle in which this elements of sattva and rajas arise out of the dominance of tamas. And in this life force principle, the vibrancy of the consciousness of Paramapurusha begins to grow and expand. Within all heavenly bodies, within the earth, within the sun, within all the planets, lies this capacity of the generation of life. But suitable circumstance need to be present for it to express fully. Otherwise, it remains dormant. But if in the core of the planet there is a living vitality, then it will alter the surface of the planet to bring about this development of life. And the vital difference, the rock, the stone, the water, they are all in truth alive because they are part of Paramapurusha. They contain the consciousness of the infinite, but that consciousness is dominated by the static principle. In the case of the land and in the case of the water, it is dominated by the static with some rajasic because there is movement. So these principles are the very fabric, the base of all of this created universe that you see here and feel existing. They are the foundation, the paint brushes of the Lady Prakriti, of Mother Nature. And when life forms, this tiny essence of life, so microvita are not particles. Particle is dominated by tamas. These are the emergence of rajas, for there is movement, and sattva, there is consciousness, awakening from the slumber of tamas, awakening from the slumber of particle existence into a subtler wave of vibration that is life. And it creates the eminence of evolving life force, which grows in magnitude and evolves the carbonic life form. So the surface of a planet begins to evolve, begins with this microvita emerging, these energy forces of life, where the sattva and the rajas are present. It enhances, it transforms the surface of a planet. And suddenly there is all manner of growth of life. And out of the quietude of the particle universe, mind forms. Like the mirror of the moon in the puddle, the mind is the mirror of the cosmic mind. It exists within the cosmic mind. It is the opening of it to, in life, mind. Life is not a particle. Life is a force. And out of that comes the unique awareness that is individual mind associated with different physical forms. On the surface of the planet, life begins to arise in combination with the physical forms out of which it has arisen. And out of that life forms mind. Remember, mind is a combination of awareness, consciousness, and movement. So when that rajas becomes active and the movement begins to happen within the consciousness, then mind is formed. And this mind is a tiny bubble reflecting the cosmic mind. And then as mind grows in magnitude, that reflection grows greater and greater until there is a complete resonance between the cosmic mind and the growing mind within the dream of creation. For all lies within the infinite Brahma. Though all of this change appears to occur, in the mind of the infinite, there is ever stillness. There is ever peace. There is no change. The change is like a dream. It appears in the mind of the cosmos, in the mind of the infinite one. This change of evolution, life, the development of individual consciousness and mind, all appears to occur. But the reality is that it is all made of the same substance. It is all made of the infinite Brahma. It is all made of the one. There is no different substance. It appears to change within the continuity of the changeless. And so the identity comes in the evolving being with all of the past experiences and the body and mind that has evolved. Yet there is no one, there is nothing but the infinite Brahma, the one eternal being is all that exists. Everything else is but a dream, a formation in the mind of the cosmos. But it is all made of the same substance. You, as a being, as a evolving consciousness, your body, the systems of organs in your body, the grass, the trees, the other people whom you know, the animals, the sky, the earth, it is all made of the infinite one. There is nothing apart from this one. And so a time comes for living beings when the mind becomes a mirror of the cosmic mind. and awareness dawns, self-awareness. The question comes, who am I? What am I? And in that inquiry comes the realization there is no separate self. It is all the infinite one. You thought yourself different. You believe the dream of that difference because you identify with the body, which is temporal, with the thoughts, which are temporal, with the sensory experience, which is temporal, meaning it is governed by time. It arises, it exists for a time, and then it fades. But the self, the Atman, the true nature of you, is not temporal. It doesn't arise, it doesn't fade. The body is made of many organs, many systems. Those systems arise, then they fade from existence. They turn again to dust. They return to earth from whence they came, and out of them grows new life. But you, the self that has been associated, that consciousness associated with the body, remains. And the past experiences which you have had in your embodiment, in all of the embodiments you have had, remain. Your reactions to them remain. That is your basket of karma, that carries consciousness wanting to fulfill those reactions of mind, wanting to have what was missing, wanting to complete what was incomplete. And so you find a suitable consciousness is engaged with this, and it finds a suitable form and situation in which to play it out and express it again and again until the realization comes, who is doing all of this? Who am I? And the knowledge comes, I am that. I am that infinite one. There is no separation. That one is all that exists. There is nothing outside of it. There is the play of creation and evolution within the mind of the infinite. But the infinite never changes, always remains the same. That plays out in the cosmos, in the mind of the cosmos, in the infinite consciousness of being. But all that is only the one. One truth, one self, one love, one piece of being. There is no I and thou. I plays out in the mind of the infinite, as does thou. Both are composed of the same substance. Only in the dream do they hold a relative reality. But in truth, there is only the one. You can try and try, struggle to realize the truth. But the truth has always been the same truth, the same reality. It already is. All you need to do is let go. Fall back into that infinite one. Be willing to let go of the pride that says, oh, I cannot be one with God. I cannot be one with Baba. I cannot be one with the infinite, because that would be prideful. That would be something unacceptable. Is that there deep within? I'm not worthy. I'm a small person. But if you simply unwind that pride, for that is a pride, that is a clinging to untruth. If you unwind, you surrender, like the salt dal in the sea. You dissolve into the larger whole. And where you have been, there is only the infinite Brahman. There is only the one eternal essence. Can you be humble enough to accept this? It takes great humility to surrender the self, to let go of the conditioned beliefs and ideas in the mind that have evolved over lifetimes of identity with form and karma. Can you realize all of that played out in the mind of the infinite? Can you let go? Surrender it all. See the infinite one where you thought you existed. That one is playing out the dance of creation in all the forms that exist. That one is dancing the great dream. That one is enjoying the pleasure and the pain and the contrast. That one is experiencing all aspects of creation. And yet that one remains ever whole, ever calm, ever unchanged, eternal, immortal, pure being. The path to this knowledge is not one of seeking. It is not one of grasping. It is one of letting go. Letting go. Letting go with the pride of identity. Letting go of the beliefs that you have held for millennium. Letting go of the I feeling and recognizing that the infinite one abides everywhere. You are not an exception to this. There is no you. Only the infinite Brahma, eternal, immortal being, vast, love beyond words, truth beyond concepts, eternal being, always has been, always will be, is ever now. Beyond time, beyond space, being always is, love infinite always is. Who is there behind the eyes? Who inhabits the body that you have called your own? Are you willing to give it up to the infinite, to let go of the assumption of I? Do you understand? It is simple. There is no seeking. There is no grasping, no efforting. There is only being, letting go, surrender to the great. Let that one inhabit the form, dissolve into love divine. This is your destiny. Honor.